Good afternoon. I'm back once again. Every time I say that, I think of Bernie Sanders. I'm once again asking for your vote. No, but really, I'm back and I'm on my lunch break, so I'm actually going to work on some code. Um, I should probably also post in my Discord that I went live. One second. It's a nice day here, actually. It's almost 70 degrees. What's up, Clay? How you doing? Good to hear from you, man. I cannot code a particle accelerator. Who do you take me for? Can't even imagine the complexity that would be involved in coding a particle accelerator. Also, I mean, by its very nature, you couldn't just like code one, right? You like it has to exist in the physical world. You're gonna need some fabricators and some welders and a bunch of high skilled individuals would need to be involved in that. Let's see. Okay, so I'm going to go into data flow. And I have a very specific task that I'm going to work on this afternoon. Speedrun making a program that can calculate the area of a rectangle. Yeah, I mean that's here. I'll just do it here in the chat for you. Function calculate area. Give a length. Give a width. Return length times width. And a close bracket. There you go. Programming 12 officials feeling spicy this evening. Or this afternoon, I guess I should say. Well, I don't know. Time's weird. When you stream, it's weird because everybody's in different places. So I always talk in relation to like my time, but I realize everybody else's time is different. That was like 10 seconds. I mean, I guess it could be shorter. It could be like this. It could be like, it could just be, uh, const CA equals LW. It can be shorter, L times W. Oh, I guess that first arrow, I guess actually it should be, I guess it should actually be const CA equals LW. L times W. There you go. My liking all your shorts and vids has been a completed marathon. Well, I appreciate that, Clay. I don't expect anybody to spend a bunch of time liking or commenting or watching any of my stuff. So thanks for going back and doing that, man. All right. So what have I got going on? So I have this application where I've been using the generic repository pattern. I don't know if you guys are familiar with that. But basically, oh god, I made somebody angry here in the NeoVim world. Why is that so angry? Basically, I just want to add a method that allows me to page through my data. Is basically what I want to do. You use Lua? Not really. I just use it only in the context of NeoVim. I've not done anything significant with it. So I basically want to have a new method that turns a task of I async enumerable of page t. Yep, it's going to do this. So this is what I'm trying to implement today. If you're not familiar with C#, then you probably don't know what I async enumerable is. But if you're familiar with like JavaScript, right, it's the same idea of like an async enumerable there too. It just is a way to let you kind of yield up a collection of items without having to load them all into memory at one time. What code editor am I using? I'm using NeoVim. It's not the only editor I've ever used. I've used VS Code. I've used VS Code the most. Okay, and then I need to implement this. So let's go to my Mongo repository. And I think honestly this method is just gonna wrap. So you need public virtual, because we want the deriving classes to be able to override this if they want. So we'll say public virtual task I async enumerable of type page t. Is that, and one more, and then get async, and we'll just say throw new not implemented. And this actually needs some parameters. I repository. I don't know if anybody here familiar with the generic repository pattern. I have really come to like it. Clay, when I stream, how do you show your screen and yourself for vids? I use OBS is what I use to make videos and to stream. Beggar, this guy's a genius. No, that's not, I am not a genius. For sure not a genius. What does virtual do? So in C#, virtual is a way that you can basically, hold on, the music's a little loud for me. Virtual is a way that you can basically say, here's an implementation of a method, right? And so if another class inherits from this class, the inheriting class, the derived class, will also get this implementation. But if the derived class wants to override it, they can, right? So if I didn't use virtual here, then the inheriting class would just have to always use this implementation. But if I wanted to do something special in a deriving class, by adding the virtual keyword, it gives that deriving class the opportunity to say, you know what, I actually want to override what my parent class has provided to me to do something unique. You can still call that base, that parent class's implementation as part of your overriding method, but it's just kind of an object-oriented thing that C# does. I mean, I think Java has the same idea. Most object-oriented languages, I think, have a similar idea. Yeah. Yep. Okay, so I just need to basically copy these parameters. So I need a page number. No, I need a page size. I need a filter specification of type T. And then I need a sort specification of type T. And then I'm good. But why is this complaining still? Oh, because this shouldn't be wrapped in a task. This should just be async enumerable. And then right now it's not asynchronous, so I'll remove that for a second. Excuse me. This should also not be in a task. Why is this unhappy? Is that not what I have up above? Oh, I don't want get all. I want... Okay, yeah, that's why. I named the method wrong in the interface. I repository. This should not be get all. This should be get async. And then the nice thing about C# is I can have overloaded methods, right? So I can just call get async, and based on what parameters I pass in, I can infer the return type. So Mongo, which some people may not like that, but I kind of do like that. Okay, so then this is going to be pretty simple, I think. I think this is purely just going to wrap this method. It's going to call into this method, but it's going to keep track of the pages. So let's write a test first before we implement this. And we actually are going to test this against a live database. Yeah, we'll just do it in here. So fact public async task get async when called with page size, it should return all pages of users, something like this. Do while true console.write. I don't know what that acronym is. You don't have to state the data type. You can just say var. Yeah, in C#, yeah, you don't. The var keyword just allows you to do an implicit typing. It's not really inference as I understand it, but it's just kind of syntactic sugar. Instead of some people though don't like that. Some people in C# are very hardcore about this the left hand side being explicitly typed, which in some cases that's nice. Like if you have, for example, like if you wanted to create a list of strings, right? They added this new feature in the last, I think the most recent version of C#, C# 13, where you can do collection expressions. So like a lot of people will type this today, var equals strings equals new list of string, like that. But now what you can do is you can actually say list of string, all strings, and you can just do this. So this is one example where explicitly typed on the left may be a little bit more convenient. You can't do it this way because there's no way to tell what the target type is. I think if you provide a type though, nope, I guess you can't either do that. But yeah, there's I mean that's a hotly debated code style thing in C Sharp. Clay Meekin said, just to let you know, I told the whole OS, my second school, about your vid. So if you've been gaining lots of subscribers, it will be my friends. Nice, Clay. Well, I appreciate you recommending me, man. That's pretty kind of you. All right, so basically the whole point of this method is that so that I can do something like this, where I can say var generate 10 users. I'll insert all these users. Oh, I should overload this internal count and pass that along. And I can insert all those users, and then I can say, and then basically I just want to be able to retrieve them, right? So let's say var page size, let's say it equals 1. And then we'll say var, what do I want to say? I guess var users, no, or like retrieved users. Yeah, equals list of users, and then I want to do this. And let's see, sort by descending. Let's say sort specification. This is getting a little long. Let's just say filter and then sort. And then we'll say var filter equals users.all var sort. That doesn't really make a sense. So we'll say sort by created date, maybe. Sort by created. Oh, whoops. U dot created date, maybe. Oh my goodness, what just happened? I think I overloaded OBS or something. Yeah, that was wild. Pro Gaming 12 official, do you know Go? I just started trying to learn it like a little bit ago, like well, I guess it's not 2 days ago, like last Thursday. I wrote my first little Go program, which just printed Hello World. What I basically did was I set up the Go. I installed Go on my machine. I set up NeoVim to be able to like write Go and get all the nice fancy features. I have the Go LSP set up, and then I wrote a little program that just prints Hello World. But I would like to learn more. There's only so much time in the day, you know. Clay Meekin, are you a cop? I'm not a cop, Clay. That's kind of an inside joke. Clay likes to. Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Format.println hello. Yep, that's what I wrote. I just followed Go's tutorial on their website. Okay, retrieved users.count should.be users.count. So this is the benefit of this method, right? Is that you can basically await over this get async, and you don't have to basically, if you want to retrieve all the users, you don't actually have to pull all the users into memory of your application. You can just iterate over it and query them in page by page. Which sometimes, I mean, most of the time that's what you're going to have to do, right? I mean, you don't want to load every bit of piece of data from a given collection or table into memory. There are probably cases where that's not even possible, if you have a large table or a large collection. I didn't watch a tutorial, but this is what I saw when I opened a Go program. A Go file. Yeah, print, format, print, line, hello. Yeah, that's like, I guess, the very basics of Go. I don't know anything. Like, I know like Go apparently is much more like, it's not super object oriented, right? It's mostly data structures and functions from what I hear. But I know very little. I'm a Go noob. Okay, so let's go ahead and this test is going to fail, but that's part of trying to do things in kind of a test-driven way. Is you should, write a test, see it fail, then make it pass, and repeat over and over. There we go. It failed, and it should have failed because it should have thrown a not implemented exception. Why can't I open the... Let's see. Is this failing because it failed to build? Let's see. Disable, read line, CD here, CD here, .NET build source, and I want to build the server. I was in the middle of doing something else on this project. Let's see. Let's fix that because I'm not worried about that at the moment. This for right now should just say throw. Programming says Ruby is so easy for some reason. It's like Python and Lua together. Why are you pasting a bunch of using statements into the chat? I've never written any Ruby. I hear people talk highly of it, I think that's the guy who I followed, the course I followed to get my NeoVim all set up, Typecraft. I'm pretty sure this guy, he writes Ruby, is what he does professionally for a living. He's a Ruby developer. Which I just there's so many programming languages in the world. I don't know how I would get to trying them all. Using my entire RAM. Nice. Very nice. It does feel like that sometimes. I tell you what, it feels like anymore 16 gigabytes of RAM doesn't even feel like enough RAM these days. I mean, 8 gigabytes is for sure not enough. I think it's criminal that people still sell laptops, $800,000 laptops, and you only get 8 gigabytes of RAM. It's crazy. All right, let's try to run this test again. It should still fail, but this time it shouldn't fail just because it couldn't build the application. There we go. Yep. So it did call into the method, which is good. So now we know the call at least works. Okay, so now what we need to do is we need to actually implement this. So let's go to this definition. And I think this is actually pretty straightforward because we already have all the logic for building each page here in this method, because this is just to get a single page. So what we can do is we can basically just iterate and call into this method to actually get the data. You know what though? Pipeline stage definition builder. Does this have a sort on it? This does. I think I need to be calling the sort here. Or maybe I'm controlling that by the way I'm calling it. Collection.aggregate. We sort. And then we pass it to these facets. I'm not totally confident I implemented the sorting here correctly. Because you have to sort before you do additional aggregations. But let's test it. Okay, so I know my page size and I know my page number. My page number is always going to be 1. So var initial page number is 1. No, it's 0 actually. Oh no, I'm offsetting that. So it is 1. Excuse me. Programming 12, you're spamming, bro. I'm not liking it. Dinesh Raj, what are you doing? I'm implementing. So I have an application that uses the generic repository pattern. If you're familiar with that. Okay, I'm gonna time out programming. So Dinesh, I have a I think that's how you say your name, Dinesh Raj. Sorry if I'm butchering your username, but basically I have an application that uses the generic repository pattern, and so I want a method on any of my repositories that allows me to essentially page through the data, but using an async iterable, so that, or in C# it's called an async enumerable, so that I can basically, I don't have to build the collection. I don't have to build a huge collection in memory. I can just bring in a page at a time and work on each page as I need to. So that's what I'm working on right now. Okay, so we'll say do. Let's see if Copilot can get it. So do this while total pages is greater than initial page number. Yeah, that's what. Hold on. That's what we want to do. Good job, Copilot. Why is my tab completion not working? There we go. And then down here we'll have our while condition. This should be T. right? Oh, we need to await this call. We'll wait. The name page. Oh yeah, it doesn't. So let's do var total pages equals 1. And then we'll reassign here total pages. So it should be as simple as that. Why is it complaining? Yeah, so this will start off at 0 by default. This should also be Pro Gaming 12. I always come back. I'm the final boss. Okay, I'm gonna time him out again because now he's being a little bit of an asshole. Is that JavaScript? No, it is not. It is C#. Abdullah, why are you streaming in portrait instead of landscape? A bit hard to read your code. Abdullah, I started to stream in portrait just because I want to be able to stream more than just to YouTube. So I was also streaming to TikTok, and so I wanted a format that I could use in both places. I do agree it's not necessarily the most optimal way for a coding stream, but it's kind of, for now, it's the what do I want to say? It's the lesser of two evils at the moment. It also seems like vertical like form streams get a lot more discoverability than horizontal streams, because I think vertical live streams get actually shown as part of the shorts feed. So but if I had enough you know, commenters or chatters who are like, hey, go to a horizontal format, I would go to a horizontal format. It's getting a little bright in here. Oh goodness. This pro gaming guy, he's been pretty chill most of my streams, but today I guess he decided to be a little bit of a troll. All right, so let's now let's go to my test and see if my test passes. Let's see. Mongo user. Okay, I'll run this again. These tests take a little longer because they're actually running against an actual. It's running against an actual database that it spins up in a Docker container, and then it actually makes actual queries against a MongoDB instance. All right, what broke here? Let's see. Expected retrieved user count to be 10, but found 9. All right, so I've gotten off by 1 error somewhere, don't I? Mongo, yeah, no, Mongo repository. So while total pages is okay, so I need to start with 1 because we're going to come in here and say 1 minus 1, which is 0. So 1 puts us at the 0 page. So while total pages is greater than or equal to, I guess. Yeah. I think that's my error there. Let's see. Try again. Pablo, is C# today? It is. It is indeed. It is C# today. Waku Waku. I'll follow your GitHub. What's your GitHub name, bruh? Hey, what's up, man? How are you? Let's see. My GitHub. I can post it for you. It's just my name. It's just Steven.freeborn, but I can share you the link. There's the link. But it's just my name. That's basically everywhere I am on the internet. You can just find me by my name. Pickles, what a good-looking stud muffin. Have a blessed day, handsome. Hey, Pickles, how are you doing? I tell you what, every time I see your user profile picture, shocks me. Pablo, same. Nice, yeah. So I decided I wanted to implement. I have this application that I have. It's right now it's just an idea, and I'm working through implementing kind of the basic authentication and identity pieces for it. And one of the things I wanted to implement was I'm using the generic repository pattern, and so I wanted to have a method that just allows me to page over my queries. So that's what I'm doing today. Is I'm implementing that paged method. Okay. The other thing I want to check here, I think, is I also want to check. I basically want to make sure that it's sorted correctly. Right? So if someone calls this and say they want to retrieve people by descending or ascending order, I basically want to make sure they come back in that same order. And I think let's see, generate. So when I generate my users, where's my user faker? And they should all have their well, I think I'm just going to add a special test for this because it's important enough. I think I'm going to turn this into a theory. And I think I'm going to make some inline data. And I think I'm going to do basically number of users, the page size, and the number of expected pages.
Is this what you were expecting?
Oh God, what have I done? So let's see. Number of users, page size, and expected pages.
There it is.
Pablo, I'm on Lua land today. Nice. I haven't done much with Lua. Do you use Lua as like a scripting language, Pablo? Or I mean, I'm not familiar what the biggest use cases are for Lua. Like, do people build proper apps with it, or is it more of a scripting language? The only thing I've done with Lua has been NeoVim related. Making a game just for... Oh, nice. That sounds like fun. Do you know what your game is going to be about, or what kind of game? Man, there's a lot of fire alerts where I live. If you know where Oklahoma is in the United States, they've had a crazy bad time with wildfires, I guess, the last week or so. It's called Woodplank, the woodworking simulator. Oh, that sounds like fun. I'd love to play it when you finish it up, man. What kind of game is it though? Is it like a terminal, or will it have a GUI? Curious. Jigsaw puzzle, but you got to make the pieces yourself. Interesting. Very, very interesting. I like puzzles. I mean, I think that's one of the reasons I like code so much, is because it's like one big giant puzzle. This is why data-driven tests are just OP, right? Like, you can just add cases with so much ease. Alright, one of them failed. Let's see. Expected retrieve users dot count to be 2, but found 10. Oh, yeah, because I guess this is a retrieved number of users and not pages.
Quit it. Quit.
Which I guess both are important, right? So let's say retrieved pages. Retrieved pages. And then this also I should check. Retrieved. Select many items. It doesn't... .count. .count should be... There we go. Let's try this again. Let's see, Waka Waka. I have an issue with ESLint, bro. Should I migrate to Biome? Then you'll have 10 issues with Biome, but worth trying. Ducky Dev, MongoDB. I see. Yep, that's in this case. I'm using MongoDB. I'm using a generic repository, so I can pretty much should be able to implement against any data store. But in this case, I chose MongoDB. ESLint. So Waka Waka, why are you having trouble with ESLint? I mean, it is kind of a pain to migrate from to the flat config file. That's kind of a pain. Let's see, expected retrieved pages dot count to be 10, but found 20. Oh, that's because I need to clean up after this test. Like await, context, delete many. Dot empty? No, not filter specification. Oh, I'm not using the repo, so that should be let's try again here. Waka Waka, really? Yeah, I've not even heard of Biome, so that's new to me. Ducky Dev, well, it's 2:30 a.m. and I've been coding for 5 hours. Damn, Ducky Dev. What have you been working on for 5 hours, bro? You were locked in. Anything cool? Okay, they all passed. Nice. Okay, so now I want to do one that checks the order. So fact public async task get async when called with page size. It should return proper order, I think. So I think what I'm gonna do here, I'm gonna say var users, but I just want 2 of them. And I want to modify it so it says var. Let's see, first user is going to be users.first. And then I want to do first user dot I guess I want to try sorting by username, maybe. Yeah, username, let's just set it to A, and then set this to Z. Insert them. Yep, and then Let's see, Copilot, can you figure this out? Yeah, it should be 2. The first page's first item should be that, and the last page's, yep, first item should be this. See if that works. He just make a chess game with 50,000 lines? Who, Ducky Dev did? Waku Waku? Or who did that? Who are you talking about? Seems like you would need a... I don't know. I've never written a chess game, but 50,000 lines seems like a lot. But I guess you probably have to work out all the the computer side of the logic, right? And the GUI. Yeah, maybe 50 lines. I don't know. I've never built a chess game. That sounds hard. I'll just stick with my crud web apps. Okay, that's reassuring. So the sort seems to be working. When called with page size and ascending sort. Okay, let's actually make another test. I could probably make this into a theory, but I'm not going to worry about doing that right now. I'm just going to write another test. So let's say I want to do created date this time. So let's say created date is UTC now. And then let's set this one far into the future. Yep, let's add a day. Ah, crap. That's init only property. That's annoying. Okay, let's do it by the updated date then. I've almost got this implemented, and I'm almost to my hour, but I think I can add this last test and all. Okay, so let's say updated date, the first user, dot updated, update, say UTC, or date, time, offset. Let's add a day. Let's add an actual day. Why is this complaining? Oh. Page size with descending sort. Sort by descending. Yep, and then this should be first user. See if this works. Oh, I gotta build this. Have you guys ever seen this Logan School, that function name? It's so short. What function name? Oh, Yeah, this one, the test name, yeah. I mean, test methods have to be kind of long, Logan. I'm guessing that's what you're making a joke about. Have you guys ever seen this command line tool called fuck? So, like, if you type something wrong, like let's say you type git commit like this, and you type fuck, it'll tell you suggestions of like what you were trying to type. Have you guys seen that? And you can like cycle through the different suggestions. Like, did you mean get config? Did you mean get column? It's kind of fun. If you think that's funny and you want to check it out, it's on GitHub. I think it's called the fuck. Yeah, it's pretty funny. I just thought of that because I messed up that command. Pablo, yeah, that one's great. Okay, I figured Pablo probably had heard about it. It's really funny. It was like one of the first things, like 2 or 3, I guess 2, maybe it's 2 years ago now. It was one of the first things I kind of customized about my PowerShell profile on this machine. Makes me laugh. I don't remember to use it all the time, but when I do, it makes me laugh. Excuse me. All right, cool. So the ordering's working. That's reassuring. We're getting all our pages back, so that's good. So I'm going to go ahead and right quit this out. Git add git commit let's see, add a git async method add. I'm just actually going to write this. Let's see. We'll say feature add git async method to support paging. Add new git async method to. I added it to the iRepository interface to allow for paging over query results using the async enumerable interface implemented new get async method in the Mongo repository, made it virtual to allow for overriding and derived classes. Added tests for new get async method in the Mongo user repository tests to check for returning all pages and retrieving data in proper order. And then I also extended the user generator to allow generating multiple users. Nice. What's up, Mob Psycho? How are you? Y'all doing well today? Actually, guys, I like timed this perfectly. That took me like right around an hour to implement. I'm so slow. That probably took another dev like 15 minutes. But now I can use it because the reason I needed to implement that was because I needed to actually use it in one of my services. it was in the token service? I think it was in the token service. Oh, maybe it was in the user service. I don't know. They kind of operate on similar things. Revoke. Revoke all. Whoops. Revoke all. Yeah, this is where I needed to implement it. Because I basically need to get all the user verification tokens, and I need to revoke them all. But I think there might be a better way to do this. I think I don't need to... I think there's a way I could just like bulk write to the database. Like a bulk update. But I haven't implemented that before with MongoDB. I've done it with Entity Framework. I mean, I've done it with MongoDB, but I haven't done it with MongoDB using a generic repository. So figuring out how to abstract, right? Because I basically want to be able to do like, oh, programming 12 officials back. Hello, man. You gonna be chill now? Or are you gonna go back to spamming? I'm almost done though anyway, so my lunch break is over. Yeah, I don't know what's gotten into you, Programming 12. You've been pretty chill the last few streams, but today you've been a little bit of a troll. I need to add a to-do here so I don't forget this. To-do. So we could page over the tokens and revoke them. This seems noisy. Could we just update them all at once? I think, and I know Mongo has a way to do this. You can use like replace mini async. They also have like a bulk write async. Because what I could do is I could do like get async, and then I could say page. You know, I could say page size. Let's say page size of 100. There probably should be a default page size, huh? Now that I'm thinking about this, that method I just implemented should probably have a Mongo repository. This should probably have a default page size. provide default page size. That'll have to be something for another time, because I'm out of time today. What are you trying to do? Mob, I was just implementing a little a method for one of my repositories in my app that allows me to. It basically just allows me to do like if you're familiar with C#, they call it an async enumerable. But if you're familiar with JavaScript, then it would be called an async iterable. But basically, a way to just, if you have a query to your database that returns a large number of records, you don't want to necessarily grab all those records and pull them into memory, right? The better way to handle it would be to page through them. Query the database, get a page, perform an operation, or do whatever work, and then iterate again. And so that's what I was implementing, was a method in my repository to do that, using that async iterable. Because then it makes it really nice, right? Because you can just await for each over it like you would a normal collection. It's just kind of really nice ergonomics from a developer standpoint. What are you making? This app, my ultimate intention for this app is to basically be a way to basically do ETL jobs, but do them in kind of a no code fashion. Mob cycle, something. Yes, exactly like paging. That's exactly what it is. It's just paging through data, but doing it in a way that feels like very native to the language. It's native to C#, right? How collections work. So that way, hey, give it a query, await for each the results of that query, and then handle each page that the query returns. But yeah, the overall idea for this app, it's kind of an ambitious project, but it's something I have in my mind that I want to try to see if it's possible. But basically, I want to be able to try to allow kind of like a platform that allows you to write ETL jobs, but in a very no-code way. And I don't know 100% what that looks like quite yet, but we'll get there. I'm still working on just implementing the identity aspect of the app, like the authentication flows and whatnot. There's not even a front end yet for it, so we'll get there. Just only so many hours in the day, All right, guys, I'm signing off. Lunch is over for me, so I'm gonna get back to work and finish out the day. I hope you guys have a good rest of your Monday, and if I don't see you the rest of the week, I hope your week's great. Otherwise, I'll see another video or another stream or another short somewhere here on the YouTubes.